very, very meaningful. I don't even have words for all this. From the video on, it has been confirmation of what a remarkable community this is and how thrilled I am, Rachel is, and our kids are to be a part of it. The faculty and staff and students, donors, trustees, friends of this institution have created something very special, and to be invited into it, to be asked to join it, and then welcomed in this way is really an overwhelming sort of moment, and I could never really fully express my appreciation for that. A day like today takes a big team to pull off, and I am pleased to thank Christy Robbins, Mike McGreevy, ably assisted by Matthew Doyley, for co-chairing this along with the planning group. The advancement staff, as always, is key to everything that we do around here and pulled all this off. And so I'd really like to take a moment and thank the planning group for pulling this all together. I've also learned about Otterbein events. We cannot do it without having great musical performances. And so the wind ensemble, the Otterbein singers, Steve and Liz, they were fantastic. Let's give it up for them. And we've got to remember the facilities crew, food service crew, theater staff, you name it, the people that get the work done around here so that anything at all is possible. Let's thank them real fast. I am really honored and just a little bit intimidated to have 3 Otterbein presidents here, all of whom did remarkable work. So Tom Kerr, Brent DeVore, Kathy Krendel, I am standing on your shoulders. You created this institution with our fantastic faculty, staff, and students to be what it is today, and it is an honor to stand in your shadow at this moment. And so thank you all very much for all you've done and your families have done. We have many members of our Board of Trustees here today, from our chair and all of our trustees in the audience. And we have a remarkable group of leaders, both friends and alumni, and their generosity of time, talent, and treasure abounds and makes this place work. And I wouldn't be here without you, and we wouldn't be here without you. Thank you very much. Now, getting me personally to this point has been quite a project. Ask my parents about that. I am very thrilled that they have joined me, along with my brother and my sister and my soon-to-be sister-in-law and my soon-to-be nephew. My sister is pregnant, and so he is technically in the house. And so I am very honored that all of you have traveled to be with us today. Thank you very much. I love you. Now, Rachel's parents intended to be here, and what we are told is a minor medical situation prevented that, so they are in our thoughts and prayers today. I am also just a little suspicious that this is just a little payback for having moved their grandchildren further away. So wherever they are, we are thinking about them right now, and we're sad they're not able to join us. I'm also thinking today about all of my friends and mentors at Blackburn and all our other stops along our journey. My ability to do any of this work is the result of many people's investment in me over the years. There's also an impressive delegation today from our other institutions in the state and beyond, and I know all of you are very, very busy people, and I'm really honored that you're here today. I'm especially pleased to welcome presidents of Marietta College, Wittenberg University, Juniata College, Ohio Dominican University, the College of Worcester, the University of Mount Union, the Ohio Foundation of Independent Colleges, and even Capital University. Thank you all very much for being here. Finally, my family, Rachel, Garrett, Reagan, Grant. It's almost over, I promise. If you haven't gotten to know them, get to know them. They're pretty amazing people that I get to get up every day and think, how did I get these awesome people in my life? And as all of you know that have wonderful families, that ability to have them supporting you every day makes everything else in life worthwhile and possible. And so I love you all very much, and I'm glad that you're here. I am truly honored also by the community engagement we have here today and the fact that it is John Comerford Day in Westerville. I have yet to really try out the powers that come with that particular proclamation. Mr. Mayor, I'm not sure what comes with that, but I plan in a few hours to take that proclamation directly to Schneider's Donut and demand a free donut. And so we'll test the limits of the City Council's authority, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate it. Otterbein is really, really lucky to be in a community like Westerville and in Central Ohio in general. We are surrounded by great partners from the City Council to places like J.P. Morgan Chase who understand that we will rise or fall together. We celebrate this in truly innovative programs like The Point, where we can do more jointly than we could ever do separately. But I've got to tell you, that partnership is not new. In fact, we would not be here today at all without it. Otterbein lost its main building to fire on January 26, 1870. And that was pretty much the whole campus at the time. There was not much left after that, and the college would have likely closed were it not for the community of Westerville coming together to raise $30,000 to build a replacement building in 1871. We call that building today Towers Hall, and it is just as much a symbol of our partnership as The Point is. It's really a remarkable place to be, Westerville, Ohio. There is such a spirit of collaboration on campus and beyond. I have been moved as I've learned about the remarkable work that our faculty and staff do every single day. Those of us who have chosen a career in education did so purposefully. We all wanted work that aligned with our values, that gave us a measure of freedom to explore our interests and passions, that gave us wonderful colleagues to spend the day with, and most importantly, allowed us to know our work was helping people every day. We are all doing good, important, and positive work. We know that our task, the task of all our institutions, is to help our students, to teach them, support them, and see them reach new heights. The best mission statement I've ever seen at any college or university was the simplest one, and it could apply to Otterbein or all of our institutions, and that is, we change the world one student at a time. This mentality and the care of our faculty, staff, donors, and students themselves for this mission have built us the greatest post-secondary education system in the world. Unfortunately, I believe that is now at some risk. American higher education is not what it once was. Some of our troubles in our sector are not our fault. They're beyond our control. For example, the demographic changes in the Midwest are meaning there are fewer students coming out of high schools to come to our institutions. But in my view, most of our problems as a sector are our own fault. We have too often been driven by the pursuit of rankings and prestige to do things that are bad for our students, bad for our institutions, and bad for society. It has led us to target most of our financial aid on merit, all the while knowing that ACT scores and GPAs are highly correlated to family income, so most of our money goes to students without need. The pressure on tuition discounting has led many colleges to increase tuition rates to capture more revenue, especially from returning students. Thus, tuition increases are an unpleasant surprise every year for many students. Many institutions have played other games with pricing. New fees or fee increases have replaced lost revenue from tuition, or more disturbing, a trend called differential tuition that places a different price tag on different majors, as if we're going to tell students that certain majors are only for the wealthy. Some institutions have gone so far as to include family income as a criterion for admission. That's right, a wealthy student with the same test scores and GPAs and background and preparation as a low-income student is more likely to be admitted because colleges have figured out the low-income student is less likely to come. That will hurt their yield rate and hurt their precious rankings. The recent college admissions scandal is only surprising for its brazenness. Wealthy students are already given huge advantages in our admissions processes and financial aid processes without direct bribes even being necessary. In our academic programs, some institutions have become so career-focused or divided into schools that they have given up on the very idea of broad-based education. Specialization and narrow training are thought to be the key to the future. Despite us knowing that the economy is changing so fast, our students will need to be prepared for those changes. We have also let a lot of junk into our higher education system through the regional accreditors that we own as institutions. We have accredited a variety of programs and even entirely new institutions that are clearly not offering the rigor or quality we should expect. This has become especially true in adult and graduate programs, where some institutions assume what students want is cheap and easy. This race to the bottom devalues all of our degrees. We're also afraid to talk about values and career development anymore, I suppose for fear of offending anyone. If we are creating future leaders, doesn't it matter that they're going to go out and help others, not just help themselves? It's no wonder to me that trust in American colleges and universities is at an all-time low. A recent Gallup poll said that 56% of Americans do not trust colleges and universities. That's right, the majority. We can do better. For the sake of our students, we must do better. We owe it to the importance of our work and our mission to make this world a better place. There was a time when social change came from our college campuses. Our student staff and even university presidents were important and respected voices in the larger national conversation. Not everyone agreed with them, but campus leaders were unafraid to speak out. Goodness knows our society needs places where controversial ideas can be freely discussed, where we can respect the individual even if we don't agree with what they think or what they say. It is time for leadership again in American higher education. I am pleased to say that Otterbein is not alone. My last institution was a leader on access and affordability issues, as you heard. Many of the delegates here today come from institutions that are trying innovative new things. If you look at where real change is coming from right now in higher education in the United States of America, it is coming from the middle. Those institutions with billion-dollar endowments and 10 applications for every seat have no incentive for change. They have created this perverse system where prestige is derived from who you serve, not how you serve them. So it is on us and institutions like us to remind everyone what colleges and universities should be, why we are worthy of trust and support. The perverse system of rankings and prestige often has us focused on which college is better than the other one. You'll pardon me here, but that's a really stupid way to think about colleges. Our strength as a system of higher education is our diversity. Some students may flourish at large research universities. Some may be well served at community colleges. Some may need a specialty institution like a seminary or an art school. And many, dare I say most, would excel at a liberal arts college like Otterbein. We do not seek to be better than other institutions. We will not use other people's yardsticks to measure our success. We will be great at what Otterbein does, at what Otterbein is, and we will help others see what makes us unique by focusing on those things. When put together, we call it Only Otterbein. Only Otterbein has risen to the issues of its time. At our beginning, we became the first college in the nation founded co-ed, the first to put women on a truly equal footing with men in the same classrooms and have women on the faculty. Otterbein moved on to leadership and racial equity, admitting African American students before the Civil War and Japanese Americans from internment camps during World War II. As other campuses were pulled apart by strife in the 1960s, Otterbein was the first in the nation to give students and faculty an equal voice in campus governance, a tradition of collaboration and respect that continues to today. Only Otterbein understood during the Cold War and the space race, as everyone else pushed into technology, that interdisciplinary education would be more important, not less. We had and continue to have one of the most connected and innovative curricula in the world. Today, Otterbein will rise to societal challenges again. Our challenge today is inequality of opportunity. The premise of the American experiment is that everyone has a chance to make it, that everyone can achieve the American dream if they work hard, and a college degree is increasingly a ticket to that dream. But not all have this chance in reality. 60% of students from the highest income quartile will have a college degree within 8 years of high school. In the bottom income quartile, that is 15%. In 1976, the Pell Grant covered 67% of college costs. Today it is less than 27%. And those who receive Pell Grants are 3 times as likely to attend for-profit colleges, where we know graduation rates and employment outcomes are not as strong. Inequality is the issue of our time, and higher education is the great separator, which is why I am proud to be here. Only Otterbein is ensuring that your family's income will not be a determining factor on whether you can attend a world-class university. We're the only private college in the state to meet full need for Pell-eligible students. Only Otterbein is inventing a new way to assure families that their costs will stay reasonable by publishing the next 4 years of tuition rates now at a modest 2% annual increase, less than half the national average of tuition increases. Only Otterbein is delivering the 5 cards of experiential learning to ensure students get hands-on experiences in undergraduate research, internships, study abroad, community service, and leadership. Only Otterbein, especially under President Crandall's leadership, has continued to be a model of equality for women, with the majority of our faculty and the majority of our board being women, and our most recent study on campus assuring pay equity. Only Otterbein is becoming an economic engine for our region by partnering directly with companies to create jobs, give students real experiences, and develop innovative facilities like the Point. Only Otterbein is honoring its liberal arts tradition with a new curriculum, allowing students greater opportunities to merge different majors and programs into a customized one that works for them. Only Otterbein is launching new graduate and professional programs to meet emerging demands without sacrificing quality or our broad education ideals. Only Otterbein is doubling down on our commitment to diversity, resulting in our 4 most diverse classes in history in a row. We are now more diverse than the state of Ohio, and can proudly say we do not have an achievement gap here. Our students of color retain and graduate at rates that equal or exceed our institutional averages. Other institutions can and should be proud of their unique contributions to our shared future. Like I said, it is not about being better. It is about being the best Otterbein we can be. I am proud that Otterbein has a history of inclusive leadership and a variety of bold new initiatives that together create something I believe is different, special, and worthy of emulation in an education system in crisis. We all need to be trying new things, ensuring that our care for students remains central, and providing a new path for a country that needs it. I am extremely proud, humbled, and honored to be a small part of that history and that future as we make this a great country for all of us. Thank you very much.